Hello, everyone. It's been a while. I'm not gonna lie, I've missed seeing you guys here. Haven't been on a stream in a minute, but it's good. It's a little bit of a maple double. We just finished watching Bahrain in Canada. I know we have some thoughts, and we barely have enough time to catch your breath as the women are taking on Brazil in just about 10 or so minutes. This is going to be a very, it's going to be an open stream. We're going to be following along the women's matchup, but all things Canada soccer, we'll just be having conversations. I am African. Didn't know that. It's not my real name, but you know how it is. It just kind of stuck, so I kept it. It's real fun. And with me today is good friend and 10 p.m. phone call confidant, Paul Anderson. Paul, how are you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I am doing all right. How are you feeling? I know it's been a while since we've actually connected. Are you feeling a little bit better, a little bit over the weather versus under the weather? I hope.
Yeah, I am. I still don't feel I sound 100%, but you said it, so I'll take your word for it. But yeah, I'm feeling a bit better. Early in the week was a write-off, but feeling much better now.
I understand that, no doubt about it. But we are here. We're going to enjoy the time that we have together. But in all things, guys, if you're here, as always, leave a comment, maybe give us a subscribe. If you got Canada soccer questions, I mean, we're here. We'll have people coming in and out as well. So it won't just be me and Paul. It may not just only be Paul. It may not only just be me. We'll be here. But first, let's just go over this women's lineup, which we're taking on Brazil. Not many changes. You got Sinclair with the captain's armband again. With Cap, I'm going to assume somewhere she's in the 300s. She'll be in 400s at some point. She will always play. Keeper, Kylie Sheridan, Kadisha Buchanan, Shalina Zdorsky. And then you have, those are your center backs and goalies. Your fullbacks are Ashley Lawrence and Bianca St. George's. The summer of St. George's is done, so is it technically the winter of St. George's, or is it the fall? No, let's go with the winter, because if it's the fall, then there's the double entendre, and then we're not going to, no falling, Bianca, no falling. So that's your back four. In the midfield, you have Julia Grosso, Jessie Fleming, as well as Christine Sinclair, and then up top, Adriana Leon and Michelle Prince on the wings, Evelyn Viennes as your 9, taking on Brazil. Paul, how do you feel about this lovely lineup here?
Well, I love the formation, so I'm excited to see the formation and the midfield duo. I really want to see Grosso and Fleming. I want to see how they're going to thrive against this Brazilian team. So it's going to be very interesting. Yeah, I love the lineup. I really do. I'm excited. I thought Heidema would have started over at the end, but I'm thinking Priestman is trying some different things. So let's see how if the ends actually shows up.
No, it is. It's a good point. And I think I was having this conversation on Twitter earlier, and it was just in terms of the number of battles that are actually up, the amount of spots that are up for grabs on this starting 11. There aren't really many, right? There is the battle at the 9 with Heidema and Viennes, which I think you have 2 games versus Brazil. I could see Viennes getting maybe 60, 70 minutes, and then Heidema coming in, and then Heidema if they split this 90-90 between both games, but letting both 9 get some run on the pitch, I'll be very happy for that. And then the other thing is with no Janine Becky, one of those winger spots, there's 2 wingers here, but they're both fighting for one spot. So the question is, it's really Leon and Prince battling for one position. Other than those 2, there's maybe a conversation. I know W Soccer has brought this up with me recently. Maybe at fullback, whenever Jade Revere gets back. In my opinion, I think it's her position to lose when she comes back. I think based off, even if you look at CONCACAF W,
right.
she was playing throughout that, but then bringing in Chapman, bringing in St. George's for bits, playing Becky back there. So I think the fullback spots are pretty much set up and are solid, but maybe that's up for grabs. But there's not really much more that is up for grabs on this roster, in my opinion.
I know, and I wanted Rose to get in there, but I'm looking at this squad. I'm like, no, there's no way.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, side note, I love to see the support that Brazilians show. I'm looking at the stadium right now, and I'm like, okay, wow, this is really, really good to see the support right now.
I understand.
And it's raining.
I feel that. Oh, well, clearly, those are the good times then.
I know. I hate it. I hate it. I must say, maybe I'm too bougie, but I hated playing soccer in rain. I just did.
Rain isn't the worst. Okay, rain as a keeper is like you're just standing in it.
Right.
Okay, that's the worst. I'm a keeper by trade, so I've had so many games in the rain where I just stood there. I was just like, okay,
that's
rain.
The worst.
Yes. If you're out in the field, at least you get to move around, you get to do stuff. But no, for that standpoint, that is where it is. So I don't mind the rain aspect, but no, give me a little bit more coming through. Let me see if we have, there we go. So throwing up Brazilian starting 11. Brazil starting 11. It's a good 11. And again, you're going to see probably some good rotation over both matchups.
Right.
Coming through. And I think for me, when you're looking at both games, it really is interesting to see. It's going to be interesting to see the matchup. This is probably, no, this is not even probably. This is the best team they've played since the U.S. game at CONCACAF W. And
yes,
against Australia, there was a little bit of, let's throw a little bit together and see what happens. And something's actually stuck very well. So I'm wondering against a team here, can they get away with things? This is probably not their most technical team that they play. Actually, that's a lie. This is their most technical team. But the things that they got away with against, say, your Argentinas, your Moroccos, the things that they had to work through against teams like Australia when they played the 2 games there. This is a team that can go direct by you, this Brazilian team, as well as they can pass through you. So defensive structure is going to be, I hate that every conversation starts with, how can we stop them from scoring goals? But realistically, this is going to be a good test. This is the group of teams that you're going to find yourself really not playing because you're in this tier. Canada and Brazil were pot 2 teams, so they weren't going to face in the same group, but maybe in later rounds. Boss, the game starts in about a minute, actually. The game starts in a minute. Yes. So are they actually doing anthems right now?
No, they by the time they came on, they didn't show that part. So they're actually on the field right now.
Okay. But yeah, so what we'll do, guys, so if you're new to this, again, drop a like if you're just stopping by. Appreciate the love. We're going to be following the game. So the game's going to be on screen, but then we're also just going to be having a conversation just on Canada soccer overall, whether it's the men's teams, if it's the women's teams. But if you do have the opportunity, if you have questions, throw them into the chat. We'll hear the talk. We'll go back and forth from there. But we're going to get the stream going. We're going to put the live score on so you can follow the match as it's going through. But yeah, it should be on Hezgoal. I haven't checked, but I'll actually jump in. I would assume it would be there. It is on Hezgoal. Yes, it is on Hezgoal. So the game is on Hezgoal. So if you need that, jump there. It's right on the screen. In Canada, the game is on One Soccer, so feel free to, if you have that subscription, do that. I want to engross myself in the game, so whenever I'm on One Soccer, it's always stadium vibes, please. No commentators. I want to feel the atmosphere. That is me. But as I said again, we're going to be talking about all things Canada soccer. So we'll be talking a little bit about this game. We'll be talking about the Bahrain game. We'll talk about the men's national team, the women's national team, the youth national teams. Really, it's a chance for us to really just kind of have this conversation while we're breathing, while there's excitement for the men going to the World Cup, the women are going to the World Cup. There's still much to discuss. So, guys, feel free to throw any of your Canada soccer questions, Canada football questions into the chat. We will do our best to get to them. But we're just going to get that set up. But, Paul, how do you feel about this matchup? Do you have a score prediction for this game?
I'm gonna say 1-1. I'm gonna say it to be a tie.
Just 1-1, eh?
I know I want to say higher, but I don't know with the nature of the pitch and the rain if it's gonna. The pitch does look really nice. Side note: I don't know if you saw if you were able to watch the game earlier, but my gosh, the pitch in Bahrain. Oh my goodness.
Let's be real. I think as Canadians, we have to stop complaining about pitches. It just seems like it's the thing that we do. So whether it's rightful or wrong, I feel like we're building a brand of just being like, we're not playing well. Also, this pitch, we got to grow past that. We have to grow past that as well. So,
but I don't know. I just feel like I never even played. Like, I'm just our rep league. I would have played a pitch like that. So I'm just like, that's just me, my 2 cents. I'm just like,
and that's fine.
The pitch was horrible. I'm looking at this pitch here. Oh, beautiful.
Oh, I mean,
but somebody tweeted to me. They're like, what makes it good is that we play in CONCACAF. So we should be accustomed to the types of pitches right now.
We should be. We should be indeed. But yes, guys, people in chat. Boss Thomas, nice to see you, JD. If you come by, that's great. Yes, in the house. But if you have to rest, please take your rest. You deserve it. Your eyelids are just closing, so just take your rest when you can, and we'll go there. But we are going into this game. We had a bit of trouble with the screen. We're just going to try to fix that up here. Let's see. All right, I think we should be back. Should be back. All right, so we got Canada attacking. I'm going to actually load this game on my phone and get going from it. Canada shot just off target. So,
okay, the Shell Prince is looking
lively. And I
think
Michelle's
surprised.
Yeah.
Oh. Come on, Leon. Come on. Sorry.
No, please.
I'm actually really Ashley Lawrence. Yes. Okay.
Mm-hmm. It's good to see Ashley back playing here.
Yes.
Yeah.
In that back role, even though I would still love her in a different role, but I just have to accept it now. She will be.
She's the fullback on this.
Yeah.
I think it's a good conversation with Ashley, just from the standpoint of, as much as I would love, I think there's potentially a window where she plays in the midfield. But then the issue is there's a lot of midfield depth that's coming through, right?
Right.
So the question becomes, where do you put the other players, right? Because right now, Ashley in the midfield seems like great. Sure, you put her with Fleming, if and when, I always say if and when, Christine Sinclair retires. I do think this might be her last run. I think this is her swan song, which what's up? But the problem with that is, look at the midfielders coming up. You have Simeon Rougeau who's coming, who looked good in spots against Australia. You have Zoe Burns, who's more than likely going to try to slot in there as well.
Right.
So there's just not many players. Then if you look at the U17s, between Anna Howard, Hernandez Gray, they're looking good. And oh, by the way, we haven't even talked about the players who aren't cracking in, whether that is Sarah Stratigakis, your Victoria Pickett's, Marielle Boo, like players like there are so much midfield depth that I feel that giving her a roaming, like ideally, letting her play like we used to play Alfonso Davies on the men's side, where he starts as a fullback but he can roam up. So almost looking at how Bayern uses him, where
Right.
he's a fullback but he can roam and move around. I think that is probably your best bet. It's probably your best bet
Fleming
to
is
go through.
dropping back a lot. This is interesting to me.
Well, and that's fair. I think with Fleming, when you have her back there, her and Grosso are essentially your CDMs. So as your two holdings, you do need a little bit of coverage there. So that's probably where it goes. And we go from there. So I think that's probably the why you want to have her that deep. Also, if most people are going to try to actually, defend against you, you can defend players back there, but if Fleming gets the ball earlier in the pitch, then that forces your opposition to start to defend a little bit more. And that opens up the pitch. And that was very evident against Australia, where she started the ball early and then it's ball to the middle, ball outside. Next thing you know, Michelle Prince with space and pace. It's all you really want. It's really all you want. Guys, thank you for being here. If you're just stopping by, appreciate the love. But there was a quick like. If you got any questions on Canada soccer, men's teams, women's teams, throw them in the chat. We'll be here. If you maybe want to jump on, let me know. I might give you the link and we can talk about that too. But Warren, nice to see you. Island Cards, always a pleasure. I will never subscribe to your financial advice by getting everything 10 plus goals, but I still love you. Brian Burke, always good. Appreciate the love here. The game is on Has Goals, so if you do want to jump there and watch it, feel free to do so. If you're in Canada, it is on One Soccer. You're going from there. Now, Paul, as we're watching this going through, Michelle versus Adriana Leon right now. Again, we're not saying you're putting this in. If you have to put this and say in a very pencil, assuming that this live score is not being productive for us, but assuming that you are going to have the other winger being Jimmy Becky, who is the winger you're starting opposite Jimmy Becky?
So it's funny. I feel like you need to get on my head because I was actually watching. I was saying I would start Leon for now, but I feel like if Michelle goes to Europe, she could kind of grow like how Leon. Like seriously, a few years ago, I feel like before she moved to Europe, she was always in her head. There's always that missing that final third, and I feel like she's gotten it since even at West Ham and now going to Manchester. You could see the difference. I feel like Michelle needs that in order to go. Now I know people are probably not going to like this, but I like the pairing of, and I'm looking at it so far. I like the pairing of Michelle and Leon because Michelle has that speed. And I think that's what Becky misses. The only thing with Michelle that I found that she needs to work on is
Evelyn.
Oh, come on. Oh my gosh.
Evelyn,
the only thing that she needs to work on is her strength.
Mm-hmm.
Like you notice when she kicks, she doesn't have that strength in her legs. And I think that's the only thing. But everything else, the speed, the turn, I like that on that left wing. Oh, come on.
Definitely. And I think there's a conversation that I've had out loud. I think, with all respect to the fullbacks we have, I think the solution is if Jade Riviere isn't ready, you just put Becky as a fullback. And you have her and Lawrence. And then you have that because her delivery from deep is probably next up, the most consistent right after those two fullbacks that are there. So I think that's the solution that you kind of run through. But if not, I think it is Leon, more than likely, just because, again, Prince offers you that pace, but you have a bit of technical ability. You have just the finishing of Leon on one side, and then you can have the
Yes.
delivery of Becky on the other. So if it was for me right now, I would go with Becky and Leon, but I'm not opposed to either or at this point. All
I
right,
like both
people.
of them. Becky, and I know this might sound wrong, and you could correct me if maybe I haven't been looking at it right, is I find that with Becky, sometimes, and I hate to say it like this because I don't want to say that she's not smart, but the IQ, there's certain things that are missing in regards. So not IQ as if she doesn't understand soccer at all. Like I don't want to say, I'm not trying to say that, but I find that for me, that usually is an issue where sometimes play that she should be reading or following up on, I find that that's an area that she lacks. Now I could be wrong. Maybe I'm missing something here. That's what
Could be.
I've noticed.
It very well could be. I do still think she's been your most productive and most consistent player on the pitch for about a calendar year. So I do feel that a lot with Becky, the issue with Becky is she's the jack of all trades, master of none. So she's playing so many different positions.
You
There's
know what?
different
Good
rules
point.
to every
Good
position
point.
plays. So
Good
understanding her pitch awareness, if you understand that she's playing around the pitch, sometimes when she's on it, she may think from a fullback standpoint, but really other times she's thinking, hey, from a winger standpoint. So I think the more that she plays her in a lot of positions, and you'll see this a lot with fans, and this is where I think if we can lock her into one position, whether it's her position of choice or a position that she just excel at, I think that there you may get the best of Becky versus just having her as the break glass in case of emergency. Oh, you're hurt? Cool. Just put Becky there. What?
Right.
Sinclair's not coming? Well, she can play the 10. Rivera's injured? She can play fullback. Everyone's healthy? She's the winner. Like, there comes a point, she's played goalie for this team at one point, in one spot. But, like, I think her IQ is high, but you have to remember when you're playing so many different positions, there's more things coming through also running for there. So you got to give her props for being that flexible and able to move out. But again, it's a credit to the team whether it's that much depth, but also the versatility of a player is very important. Good. Guys, if you're here, drop in a quick like and go from there. And drop in your Can Soccer questions as they come. Drop in your Can Soccer questions as they come. Alrighty, let's get to this question as we're here. We got a corner coming for Brazil. But one Webster, thanks for jumping in. Alfonso, what is the deal? Will he be ready and healthy for the big dance? More than likely, yes. More than likely, yes. Based off of it, he's not going to play the Japan game, but it's looking like the hope is that he's ready for the first game versus Belgium. And so that is the hope based off of the player, based off how he's trending from just a preparation standpoint. So I think he will be there, which is good. I mean, Canadians had a moment of just swallowing everything with fear of losing the player, but he hasn't, and that is the worry for such a fast twitch and a speed player. For the hamstring injuries that he's had, it's not really affecting. He's more straight line versus very twitchy and moving, so I think it helps in that case. Again, I will preface this by saying I am not a doctor, so don't take my word for it. Talk to a doctor, or let the doctor speak. That's what I would say in that aspect. But for Alfonso, I think that's where it is coming through. So that is it's great that he's back. And we've seen in a few matchups that he's very much important. There, who's my co-host? This is Paul Anderson. You can find him on Twitter. He's been on some spaces. He's done some things. Good save by Kaylin Sheridan. A little bit behind between these two. But good goals here. How do you feel about Alfonso? I mean, we're kind of going to this question here. If we should lose one player on the women's side, we can't. What's the one player that we can't lose on either team? Yeah, let's have this conversation. men's and women's teams, who's the one player on each team that we cannot lose?
Men, Eustachio. You cannot lose. I know Davies is your best player, and you don't want to lose him, but Eustachio, if you lose Stefan, the midfield, I wouldn't feel as confident and comfortable in the midfield right now. That's an area where I would have a big issue. On the women's side, that's a really good question. I don't know if I'm trying to see if anyone of has really stood out as important. I know Fleming is probably your best midfielder. Yeah, the women's, that one, I have to think about it some more.
On the men's side, as much as Eustachio is important, there is a player that I find allows players to not have to be on the ball. And I said this after the Uruguay game. The most important player for Canada, if they're going to do something, it's Tejan. It's Tejan just because if Tejan has the ball, you don't have Alfonso on the ball, which means if you're even, he's leaving. 2, if he's 3 steps in front of you, he's already beat you. And like I always refer to this game, but the Canada-Mexico game at Azteca, the chance that Davies misses, right, where Tejan squares the ball across,
squares up
and he misses it. Like if you ever watch that play again, he comes his pace, he's 5 steps behind, and he outruns the left back there or the right back there, and he just hits it and goes out. But that is available, and if you're a defender, that is terrifying. It's not just Davies on the ball, but it's Davies without the ball. That is terrifying. And I think Buchanan allows you to do that. Tejan allows you to do that. So Tejan is important. On the women's side, I think for me, it's very simple. I think there's depth on the team everywhere. There is tested depth everywhere, except goalkeeper. And we've got
good point.
We've had a long time. We've had a long time where we went from LeBlanc to McLeod and LeBay to McLeod, LeBay, Sheridan to Sheridan and LeBay, McLeod kind of there. And then now it's just Sheridan. Now, nothing. I love Sabrina D'Angelo, pride of Welland. Stand up. I see you. Same city, same town. I love that. But she hasn't been given as many opportunities. She's got more starts, more game time, and she's a good keeper. But in terms of tested depth that you've seen and you're confident in, you still want to see more from her. She's a good keeper, a good athletic keeper. She is, I think, 5'7" as a keeper. So she gets up there for some of those aerial shots and aerial saves. But she's a player that hasn't really played top competition yet. Maybe she gets a start in the next game. I know Bev has talked about getting her some more starts, but behind her, there's a lot of just unprovenness. It seems like it's a default answer. Not everyone, but most teams have a solid A and a B goalkeeper. But then after that, it does become a little bit more murky there. So that's the easy answer for me. The easy answer for me is just, it's the goalkeeper. I think there's enough on the wings that we're good. There's enough at striker that is good. We know what we're getting from Heidema, and Vien and Heidema are 2 different types of strikers, so they both offer 2 things. But I still think everywhere else on the pitch, they are doing well. But goalkeeper is the one spot. If Kaylin goes down, then it's okay. We're somewhere that we're not quite sure where we're at. About 20 minutes into this game, still 0-0. Guys, drop your Canada soccer questions if you're just stopping by. Leave us a like. We'll go from there. The game is on Has Goal, so make sure you drop there. Brian Burke, the roster is coming Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time.
On TSN.
There's supposed to be a program on TSN here in Canada or on Twitter, everywhere else in the world. So, um, so 10 a.m. is when it's supposed to be coming out. We'll see um, what what the roster will look like. For the most part, I think the roster is set. I think there were some things. There's maybe one or two spots which were being fought over today in the Bahrain game. Mainly, if they bring another left back, which is where I want to see. Okay, the difference between Raheem Edwards, maybe a Jacob Schaffelberg, and kind of seeing how they're going. But good save. Good save by the Brazilian.
I'm not sure I could see
Dangerous.
Schaffelberg is not a fullback to me. He's more of a winger. Like saw him.
Yeah.
I saw him today on the wing, and I was like, yeah, that traditional. I mean, if he could learn, and I guess eventually he will. When he learns that position, I think he could be dangerous. I know a lot of people.
Well, that's how it goes, right?
Right.
You start at TFC, you start in the academy, you don't get minutes at TFC, you leave TFC, and then you become the player that you always could be. Oh, good save out of Brazil. Keeper. Canada's looking dangerous here. They are certainly taking it to Brazil. Well done, well done. Who do we think? Canada goal. It feels so good. Well done. Let's see who we have. Oh, that's a header.
Wait, I guess I'm a little bit behind.
Yeah, that is a header from Shalina Zadorsky in the 22nd minute. Set pieces. We have tall players. We use them. Lovely day. Lovely day.
I love those headers that go, those looping headers, which you don't think is going in, but eventually goes in the net. Who kicked it? Ashley Lawrence, man. That's I'm telling you. Underrated player.
Good. Underrated player.
Oh, she got in high though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's interesting when you look at the fullbacks, like between Zadorsky and Shields, and Buchanan gets up there. Like, I have a joke with my girlfriend where Buchanan is 6'2", even though she's technically 5'7". She does not know she's 5'7".
Right,
but like they should be getting more set. They should be way more dangerous on set pieces. And
yeah, I think Priestman is growing as a coach, and I'm now. Oh, nice. It's funny. Prince is playing more. She's playing more inside. It's quite interesting.
Well, that's a thing. When you have only one striker, typically when they would play with either Sinclair up top only, she would always be dropping so deep that essentially your wingers became your forwards.
Right.
And for me, that was always a thing that I didn't like, because it was more of a conversation of let your wingers be wingers, let your forwards be forwards, let your strikers be strikers, etc. Oof, bad indecision there.
And I was going to ask you about her. I was going to ask you, Buchanan, this year she hasn't looked as sharp as she looked in the past. Is it me, or do you agree?
It's a different league, right? She's playing in a little bit of a faster league, and I think she's just getting adjusted. And that's why I think for her, she's had a bit of a struggle, whether that's getting used to this pace of the game or whether that's just physicality of it. Anytime a player goes into a new league, especially, I always say, give them a little bit of time, right? Give them a half season to get their feet under them. And if they're actually getting minutes, then from there, let's see if they can start to get some consistency. So for Khadijah right now, she's getting her feet under her in this league. Now let's see if she can build some consistency. And then from there, that's where it really starts to grow from there.
Yeah, for me this year, I just felt like her, and I'm even talking just even before she went to England, even playing for the national team, some of the decisions, like what you just saw, what she did there, some of the decisions that she would make previously would be like quick, has been a bit slow. And maybe it's, as you said, maybe it's just adjusting to other leagues now. But I find her a step slow in her decision and things, that in her tackles, in her passing.
No, that's definitely fair. Um, but I think for her, she's always been a player who is a player that you think most teams, for some reason, the last few games they've always let like a Zadorsky on the ball. They've left Gilles on the ball. But then when Kadisha has the ball, they try to pressure a little bit more. Maybe that's a lack of respect for the player.
Right.
So, but I think she is definitely a player that, yes, she can be prone to make those mistakes, but effectively as that center back, she gives you a lot more pace and athleticism than you're used to that at her size. She's not,
Right.
again, I mean, she's 6'2". She'll always be 6'2". But, I mean, she's fast well enough, and that goes well. So I think for her, let her get her feet under her at Chelsea and then go from there. I mean, 'cause even Jesse hasn't had consistent minutes this year, and
No. Yeah,
so
that's
it's
another
it's a
thing
little bit
too.
frustrating. Yeah,
Yeah.
I get the frustration from a lot of Warsaw fans here, and even for myself. Like when I'm just following it, I'm like, no start, eh? Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah,
But
I feel like anyway, that's a whole other topic. I'm not sure why they don't
mm,
start her. I forgot who starts over her. Um, uh,
you,
George.
you did everything right, and then at the end,
Yeah, I know.
you
George,
have
she
to take.
hasn't.
Yeah,
It was ramping
I
up
know
the path.
there was a lot of talk with her earlier because she got the double bird fine, where she gave a ref two birds, and then the ref happened to turn around, and everyone's like, "She's a loose cannon." I'm like, "This is a emotional, very passionate sport. You're gonna
Yeah, it's
have
not
that
a loose
happen
cannon. I hate when
sometimes."
people. I hate when they say that. I'm just like, really?
Yeah,
Come
it's
on.
it's like you have one thing happens, and then it's like, "Oh, this is a problem for the player." Always, I'm like, "Really? We're gonna do this?" Because there is there is definitely a version of this where it's like, so when every player makes a mistake, we have to hold that mistake on them forever.
Right. Oh, nice.
Ooh,
Ooh,
grazes. I think she gets a hand to it, but
that's a nice shot. I
oh,
didn't
she
even.
got hand to it, giving it
She
a goal
did.
kick. But you know, based off of it, yeah, she's definitely got a hand on it, a finger at least.
I like her
Oh,
as a
great.
keeper. You know why? I think she's
Mhm.
probably. I love her. Her on the ball. Sheridan. I love her
Yeah.
coming out of the back too. She feels that she seems very comfortable.
Mhm. No, it is very good. I like her as a keeper too. Again, the questions about when we're going to get more depth seeing. That's my only complaint with the team. It's just like players 26 to 50. We haven't seen enough of them. And then you're
Right.
either putting players
Nice.
at 26, Sinclair in the middle. And see, this is where I think,
Oh, ball,
ooh,
Michelle,
nice layoff.
Michelle. So proud
Nice
of you.
layoff.
I am so proud of you there. You are growing. I'm so proud.
Mm.
I feel like
And
she could
I
be a
think that
dangerous player, man. Michelle, she just needs.
I think that's available to them if Sinclair isn't going to be the nine that she was, right? There's no doubt about that. But as a 10, where she can drop off a little bit more, but you're, are we doing this? Set piece goals?
But
I breathe it. I can't. I simply cannot. Oh, oh,
Leon, I'm telling you, man,
Leon,
she's grown since she's gone to Europe, man. She's
Adriana
different,
Leona.
man. I'm telling you, Europe has changed her. That's why I want Becky and Michelle to go back to Europe. I'm not saying Europe is the end all be all, but yeah,
Oh, so much is happening.
that but one time, boom. Oh,
Wait,
oh, she. So Kwesi, do you think we could
she.
take? Do you think we could take
Ooh,
her out the starting 11? I don't know, man. I think she
I don't
cemented
know.
herself in the starting 11.
Mm. Oh, okay. I'm speechless by that one, guys.
Yeah,
I didn't. Okay, thank you. Whew.
You saying
breathing.
we're ready to red,
Let
eh?
me.
Bound to happen.
Woo, woo, it's I. But when we're red, when
Yeah,
the
yeah. The red is
also
the
Man
lucky.
U women,
Yeah, yeah. When we wear the red
yeah.
is the luck. Yeah.
Mm. Oh yeah, Man U. This is a forward. She does this. Give her some time, eh? Just a little bit, just on the pitch, please, please and thank you, please and thank you. Whew, need a cigar for that.
Yeah, that was a beautiful.
That was a beautiful goal. So it is two. No, I apologize, guys. I should be putting up a score here for you. Let me put up a score for you.
I don't know, man. This starting 11 looks. I don't know. The starting 11 looks really good.
Yes.
It's gonna be. I'm sorry. I don't want to be in Priestman's shoes right now. To be honest with you.
That's great. But here comes Brazil on
Nice.
coming building.
What?
Ooh, good defending.
What?
See, it
Okay,
was Oh, Leon.
I.
Okay.
Oh, that's what I'm saying, buddy.
Adrian, you want the starting spot? Okay, that's good.
Yeah, I don't know, man. If she continues on this, it's gonna be.
Yes, I. I mean, by this is enjoyable. As in the words of JD, just women's football puts you in a better mood. It just does. And now you see good passing, you see great times. It's good. So corner coming in, Brazil not able to do much with it. Cleared by Canada as the ball is going through. Guys, if you're swapping by, drop your Canada soccer questions. We'll get to them as we're watching this game.
This is gonna be a dig.
So
this is gonna be a dig, but they look way better than the men this morning.
they drew Bahrain, and I was prepared for I wasn't even gonna I was gonna fake turn off my Twitter and just be like, "I'm like, we lost to Bahrain. My mentions are open. Everyone in Central America.
The women look good,
Brazil
man.
getting one back. Brazil getting one back.
Oh,
This
they
is
did.
gonna be
okay. I'm a
on the
bit
counter
behind.
build up coming through the
I don't know my
middle.
internet.
Ooh, a nice. Yeah,
Okay.
you can't do much. That's perfectly executed.
Hold on. Let me see that replay. I want to see that replay.
That's
I need to see
perfectly
that.
executed. Let's see. I put up a banner. They're like, yeah, your banners, eh?
Oh, who that? Yeah, St. George again. She's been getting burnt.
And she got beat inside, which is but turnover in the midfield, and then with all that space.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was perfectly timed. You can rip on St. George's for that, but
who lost that in the midfield? I'm trying to go back. I want to see that back. Was it Grosso?
Yeah, it was either Grosso or Fleming, but still, good account. This is a nice, guys. If you're not watching this game, this is a nice game.
No, it is.
This is a nice game. But we're gonna be here to answer. Let's answer some more questions.
This is a beautiful.
Warren put this here. So from your perspective, Stack, Alfonso Dino, we're already going Brazilian with it.
Alfonso Dino have candidate our.
And is our 3 to watch. How confident are we in our defensive pool? That's the question. Not having Kennedy hurts in the sense that he could be your tall Alistair Johnston.
Yeah.
And I think that matters. Now, with no Scott Kennedy, you now have basically Daniel Henry or Derek Cornelius are your first center backs off the bench. I mean. So that's where it becomes very interesting. And I think you haven't seen enough from Cornelius to assume that he's going to get right. It's more than likely going to be Daniel Henry. Daniel Henry right now, other than minutes, health has been his greatest drawback. So if he is injured that way, now you have to play Derek. And I'm confident in Derek. He looked good against Jamaica when they played in Jamaica, but we haven't really seen much of him since. So it's tough to say defensively. In the midfield, I mean, someone said it on Twitter, but it's true. I think Kone is, if he's not starting, he is first midfielder off the bench at this point. If you start Stack, Atiba, and Osorio, he is more than likely first midfielder off the bench. Kone is, and I think he's been the early riser moving up and going from there. So I think defensively that's interesting. On the left back, on like the backs, right? More than your right back is Alistair Johnson, which allows you to get back three, but then not really a back three. Because then he can be your right back or a right center back. And then on the left side, you have Sam Adekubi. On the right side, you also have Richie Larea. So there is players there, and then if need be, Tejan has played wing back, so you can drop him back. Hoylett has played right midfield, so he could, in theory, play either wing back or right wing. But for people who are specifically on the left, you have Sam Adekubi and Alfonso Davies, right? Liam Miller is just, if we think Liam is making this roster, he is just a winger. He is not a wing back, which means you can only really play him in specific types of setups and lineups. Tough tackle in the midfield, Brazil coming in here. Passing a little bit, Brazil has picked up the pressure.
Yeah, they have. I don't know if defense, to be honest with you, is my concern from before. And then looking at this game today, I'm even more concerned. The Uruguay game and today's game has given me more of a concern. Kamal, if you look, I don't know if you saw the last game that CF Montreal played with a turn. Yeah, he gets turned very easily. And I saw that against, I think it was Panama or Honduras? The same thing happened, and again it's happened again. So yeah, Kennedy. I wish Kennedy wasn't injured. That was going to be my hope. I know he might not have started, but at least there would have been some security in the back line. Now I don't know. That is the one area that I could see Belgium just threading us to pieces.
I think any team on the counter will get you, especially going from right to left.
Right.
I think because like the Darwin Nunez goal against them, I mean, that's available for you, right?
Yes.
Darwin Nunez versus Alistair Johnson in a jumping match, sure. I mean, we know how this ends. So I think that is a concern for defensively. You're hoping it doesn't reach that point, but that means you have to have possession and it has to be deep enough. But that's where you're hoping either a Tejan is able to recover fast enough, or you go from there. You need to good.
Sorry, 1 second.
No, all good, guys. Thank you again for being here. If you haven't already, hit the like button. I haven't even checked where we're at, but feel free to. So 21 likes. Living the dream, guys. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it. I do appreciate you so much. But we're going there with Paula. We are watching this women's Brazil versus Canada matchup. It is 2-1 Canada. This is a very nice game. If you aren't watching it, if you are in Canada, it is available on One Soccer. If you're outside, find a stream, any stream. It is on His Goal. So His Goal has the game running, so make sure you jump there. Watch this game. 2-1 going for the 40th minute. It's a very nice matchup. When Paul gets back, we'll get to Brian Burke, your question. Can you figure this out? But we'll definitely kind of build it and run it from there. But yeah, Canada has not seemed out of place here, and they've looked very good so far on this. So guys, if you're just stopping by, leave a like. If you haven't already, please subscribe. We do appreciate the content as we grow, and we will definitely try to keep you involved. If you want to turn on notifications so you know when we have any type of content, we have been dropping little videos leading up to the World Cup, a little bit of men's, women's, and a bit quick on Ghanaian because the Africans aspect. I do want to do a quick, I will do that later, probably this weekend, a quick how African teams are looking heading into this World Cup, which I think is going to be a fun caveat, especially with injuries coming in. But as you hear, guys, please leave us a subscribe, leave us a comment, ask us a question. We really want to talk about all things Canada soccer, so whether it's men's, whether it's women's, whether it's youth teams, let's just have this conversation after watching this women's game. So, guys, feel free to fill those in. Right now, we got the corner coming up for Brazil in the 40th minute coming. The corner shot put in, dealt with by the fullback, but not cleared. Now finally cleared. Ball is deep right to the center half. So, all right. We got that going. Brazil building from the back. Coming in, coming here. Throw this question up here. Ball out wide. Dealt with well. But yes, that fullback position is coming and player put down. Coming through. Let's get our share of the screen going again. Alrighty. Let's go here. So, yeah. Only matchup is here. Oh, yeah. I'm going to get a little sound here without any pause here. Sheridan boots it deep. It's a no one, keeper to keeper. Happy for the pass. Canada's look good. So a little one soccer background coming through. We're not going to coming with the ball. Plays it up to Prince. Heads it over. Yen gets it. Plays it back. Here we go. Sent back. Here we go. Sinclair deep. Passing out to Ashley Lawrence. Lawrence back. Sinclair. Great. Oh, the movements is just so beautiful.
You mean on both sides, right?
Both sides.
Yeah, no, this is as I'm saying, this is a beautiful game right now.
Mm-hmm. I am enjoying this really. It's a dangerous free kick, what does it say?
You saw Germany beat US yesterday, right?
I did see that, and like the US, the conversations with the US. Oh, that's a dangerous free kick here. Coming up for Brazil.
Who was that? Buchanan? Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Buchanan has not seen herself like that's a rash challenge.
That's warranted. That yellow is warranted.
She has not been herself. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. Oh, again, let me see her let me get a full or get to the end of this season on and see how she looks there. Yo, Leon Price, what's good? Yo, I don't. If I could take super chats, I'd say yo, keep on sending this man. Leon Price came clutch yesterday watching the Olympic girls game. So Leon, appreciate you still. But right now we got a Brazil free kick coming at the edge of the box. We got the wall set up there. Let's see how it goes.
What have a gap in the wall though? Oh, for her to see. Okay.
Yeah, you gotta let Sinclair see.
Yeah, I see.
Shot off target. Okay, so dealt with 45th minute. Oh, well, welcome. We do Canadian, African, and just sometimes CONCACAF content because it's fun. If you're new here, make sure you give us a like. Please subscribe so you know when we got more content coming up, and we'll be everywhere and nowhere. Let's see.
That was a good
Oh,
free kick.
that
That
was,
stayed down. That would have been a nice
yeah,
free
she
kick.
couldn't get it to dip enough there. But yeah, we're in the 45th minute. Canada 2, Brazil 1. Brazil in the blue tops, white shorts. Canada in the all red. Ooh. There we go. We're also sending Prince. Prince with the turn looking.
Go wide, go wide.
Goes in. Goes
Oh
wide.
my
Oh,
goodness. Oh, come
Sinclair.
on, Sinclair.
That is, oof. That is actually, see, the thing, and this is where I like having Sinclair as that. We're at halftime here, guys. Whew. Sinclair as the 10, where she can essentially now play as the late arriving striker, that is available to you. And now you have Yen, who has the pace to occupy center backs, and you get a player who scored more international goals than anyone, period, time. She'll put those away. I mean, I know she's missed 2 so far, but she will put them away.
See, that's why I like Prince on the wing, eh?
Mm-hmm.
That speed.
Prince on the wing has been, and I think that's the thing you didn't mention with her. If her final product could improve, I mean, then she's in the same conversation with a Leon, where I'm saying,
yes,
you could do so much here. We are not worried whatsoever. But quite frankly, this has been a fun game, honestly. A good, fun game. Enjoying every minute of it. It's just you. Not just you. Good times. But, man, it is 2-1. We're at halftime. Let me see if I can find some stats on this game right now. But we're here to answer. Watch this game. Enjoy it. But also, let's have conversations with Canada soccer. And Brian Burke, you had this here. I want to get to this question because I think we have opinions on this, but there's also a degree where it's like what we want to happen versus what we expect to happen. And for the most part, I think the 23 to 26 is very much set. The only question is, I mean, I asked this kind of for jokes. Well, not really for jokes, but just curiously. Do you think they bring 4 goalkeepers just with no Creepo? Because what's the difference between Pantemis and Hassan? And to be honest, there is a difference. Pantemis took over that spot, and so I think for that, it does get interesting from there. But who, in terms of on the men's World Cup roster, we'll kind of play this both ways, men's and women's. Who would you think on the men's side might miss out? And then if you go on the women's side, who's a player, a regular that you expect? Who is your surprise non-inclusion for the women? I know it's 6 months away, but let's go 6+ months away. But we'll go with both of those. So men, who would you expect to miss out? And then women's, who is your surprise cut that you're going to put in for this point right now? Because for me, I think, again, if you're going by players, your 3 striker, well, your 4 strikers are going to be Ugbo, Cavallini, David, and Laren. Your wingers are going to be Davies, Buchanan, Miller, and Corbiano. I think Corbiano makes it. Your midfield is very much set. Atiba, Eustachio, Pietz, Kone, Osorio, Kay. I have forgotten someone. Your center backs are your starting 3, Johnson, Victoria, Miller, Henry, Cornelius, Waterman. And then fullbacks, you have Larea and Adekubi. and then your goalkeepers are Boyan, St. Clair, and Pantelis. Maybe a Liam Fraser sneaks in. I think on the fringe, if you're going to have that conversation, is probably an Ike Ugbo, depending on just how he's been playing. And then if you're looking at Ugbo, Charles Andres Brim always gets called up. And again, I don't think it's fair. Brim is a player that I know a lot of players, a lot of people have feelings for him. I'm like, you can't harbor the anger of not having Mitrovic on him. Okay, he's his own player. He does what he does. Eventually, he'll be something, or he won't. We'll have to pay all those calls with some sort of a production. But I think for me, those three, like Ugbo, Brim, maybe a Frazier, those three are bad to try to get through, maybe get on. I don't know on the women's side. Because the answer is easy just because there's injuries, right? You can see Riviera missing, you can see a Rose missing because there's injuries. However, it's the next one. I think the midfield is probably where a lot of the interesting conversations happen on the women's side because you're starting three is set. Then you have Schmidt and Quinn. And probably Arujo. And those are your six midfielders. And if those are your six midfielders, who's going to break through? Is someone else going to come through? Like who? Zoe Burns has come in, hasn't seen a lot of minutes. You got Victoria Pickett's their starting back is Marianne Ledoux, who's playing well, but can't seem to earn a call-up. So I think, for the most part, that would be it. I don't see anyone, the only benefit is that there's injuries, and that kind of clears it out. And whether the player will be back in time and playing well is an easy enough buffer to get them off. But Paul, you still there?
Yes, I am still here.
Okay, perfect. In terms of men's, who is someone you could see missing out? Not who you want to miss out, someone you could see missing out. Because we all know what that answer is. But more importantly, who is someone on the women's side you'd say would be a surprise non-inclusion for next
The women's side?
Yeah, men and women's. One player on each who could miss out.
I think I'm going to go the easy, and this is probably too easy, and I'm going to go the easy route. I could see Rose missing out on the women's side. I know she's trying to get fit and trying to get up to speed in time for the World Cup, but I could see her missing out just based on how everybody else has been playing so far this year. For the men, I could see Brim missing out.
Could.
And the reason why I could see Brim, the reason why I see Brim missing out, much as he's doing well, I think with the lack of depth in defense, I could see either Herman bringing on an extra defender or extra midfielder on. So like a Liam Fraser, or even a Waterman, who we never really expected. So I could see that Brim not being able to crack the 26.
That's fair. And I think that's probably a reality with it. Women's side, again, injuries makes it easy.
Yes,
right? Injuries doesn't make it easy. But I will say right now, Clarissa Laracy has an opportunity to make this very difficult for someone.
You think so, eh?
She has not looked bad in any of her appearances. And if she looks good, right? If you're two wingers, because remember, we have four wingers right now.
Right.
We have Becky, who's not here. We have Rose, who's missing. That's 6, right? We haven't even got to any other wingers profiles. So I think that's everyone for the most part. those six, I think you bring five. So if Rose comes back healthy, I think Laracy has an opportunity still to really. She has a spot right now. However she got it, she's been given a spot. Now it's time to hold on to it like there's no tomorrow. Hold on tight and then see what happens. I think if she continues to play well, if she gets any run against Brazil and looks good,
Right.
because she looked good against Australia. She got her goal against Morocco.
You're right. She did. She did.
So there's players that are there. And that's one of like my fringe conversations is always. The players who are at the end, those 26 to, I'll say 36 players, they are there. They're coming. The other big factor is if FIFA goes 26 for the women. If they go 26 for the women, I mean, that opens up a lot. I mean, because then you don't have to trim at the end. Then you can just bring in everyone you need and have an additional center back. That's the other thing, right? Center back depth is fine, but it's not super deep, right? Everyone who's like Jade Rose, wow, Jade Rose, but she was always CB4, right?
Right.
Jade Rose was the fourth best center back, and instead of having her sit on the bench for senior teams, they said go play U20 so you can actually get minutes. Which, for a change, we actually did. Well done. But Jade Rose was always center back number 4 after Zadorsky, Gilles, and Buchanan. Do we have a fifth one? I know Marcassini looks good at U17. Like, is there someone? And this is when I look at the women's team and I also look at the men's team. Is there someone who's playing well now so that we don't have to bring in the young player immediately? Can we let them, marinate a little bit more before we put them on the grill? You can still make good barbecue, depending, but maybe instead of just throwing in a quick rub and throwing it on the grill, maybe instead of that, you add your onion, you add your spices, you add your liquid, you let it marinate for a day, maybe, and then you put it on the grill.
Right.
And so I'm wondering, do we have any? Because right now Surieka is running. Beth sees her as a center back, which isn't a problem. But between her, Gabby, Carl, who can play both, there's enough players who are. The thing with this Canadian women's team is versatility. They have players who can play everywhere around the pitch. That being said, you still want to have players who can excel in one position. So if Surieka is center back 5, not to mention Quinn, they started off as a center back. So break glass in case of emergency. There's your center back 6. Is there someone else that they can find who's playing well right now that you don't have to say, yo, Marcassini, you're in, or any of the other U20s straight out, giving those players time to get their feet under them going from there. And I think that would be interesting and important to watch, because without that, then we're stuck in a position where, we're stuck in it's not even stuck in a position. It's you have to choose which batch you're going to go with.
Right.
And it's like, do you take the players who maybe what their level is, and then they play well there? Or do you say, let's get some of these young players coming in? Like, there's 3 U17s on this roster.
Yes.
I'm not expecting any of them to make this roster, but it's a good taste for them to see this is national team football. More importantly, this is a level, right? The U20 saw essentially pot 3 and pot 4 teams.
Right.
And the U17s are essentially seeing pot 2 teams. These are 2 different animals, right? Which speaks to a lot to how a lot of us feel about the U17s. I think there's a strong possibility that the same way that this team, you can trace their roots back to that 2014 U20 team, I think this U17 team could be that next version of that. I think there's enough talent on that U17 team that they could become that next. The national team is just the U17 team basically put there.
That's true.
Now that has that has its pros and its cons. I had a video about this where it's like, how do we see the others? But with that being the case, do you then immediately go and say, let's take that group, bring them in, and have them be the leaders, be their team? Or do you instead say, look, Laracy's only 23, and Elidu's only 25, Pickett's only 24. We can Strategakis is only 23. We can still get run from these guys. It may not be for a whole cycle, but it may be for like a year or two. They come in, they set that foundation, and then you have other players come in and they can transition from there.
Right.
You don't have to. Now, if you're up to the task, you're up to the task, right? You don't need to avoid that. But I do think there's enough depth in this program where you don't have to immediately go to the U20s or the U17s to replace some of the vets, right? Because with this women's team, after this World Cup, more than likely, in my opinion, you're losing Sinclair, you're losing Desiree Scott.
Yes.
And then you're having a conversation about Sophie Schmidt, who is playing well, but is 34. And with any age, and by no means, it's not an old thing because you have players who are performing it late into the 30s. But you don't know when that drop-off is going to come.
Right.
So you have to start planning for it before they come, right? You have to plan for Sinclair retiring before she comes and tells you she's retiring. So with that being the case, you have to be looking at these things coming through. So I think the women's team will be interesting moving forward. Went on a rant on them here, but guys, if you are stopping by, we appreciate you guys. Make sure you leave a like. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. And leave us a question about anything Canada soccer related. Ooh, okay. So the substitutions coming in, we have Gabby Carl coming in, as well as Jordan Heidema. So we're platooning. We're doing a half and halves for the nines, which isn't bad. I expected something like this. I thought maybe they'd give Vienna a little bit more run.
Right.
So Vienna for Carl. Heidema in for Viennes. And then give me the number. Is it 23 for, Bianca St. George's for Gabby Carl.
Which makes
Good to see Gabby Carl on the pitch.
I know it. Interesting.
Yeah, she was injured in the Australia friendlies. So good to see her back on the pitch here. Good to see her from there. And second half is on the way. So we're going to throw that back up here.
I do have to drop. I apologize. But thanks for allowing me to be part of your broadcast, your live show. It was actually really, I had fun.
Oh, thank you, Paul.
You're welcome. No problem at all.
No problem. You enjoy the rest of your day.
All right.
And then, I expect to see you tweeting about this, Kay.
Yes, for sure. All right. Talk to you later.
Talk to you later.
All right,
alrighty. So it is just me, and that's fine. So, guys, we're watching this Canada versus Brazil matchup, and also dropping your questions versus for Canada soccer, whether it's the men's team or the women's team. The men's play against Bahrain. So if you want to talk about that, we definitely can. But we're definitely here watching this Canada women's matchup versus Brazil. Two friendlies. A lot of the women's teams have their two sets of friendlies that are happening. That's good. Germany's playing the U.S. twice. Paraguay versus Jamaica 2 times. And then Canada versus Brazil here. And our live score has been giving us issues. So we're just going to keep it going and bouncing back and forth. Has been a good game, Leon. Thanks for coming by, Boss Thomas. It's been a good game so far, so let's enjoy it. But yes, if you guys have any Canada soccer related questions, feel free to throw them in. We will be here to answer them as best as we can. We will definitely go from there. So guys, leave a like if you haven't already. Make sure you subscribe if you like the content. We're in the second half of this matchup. Canada 2, Brazil 1. Lawrence playing it back to Sheridan. Sheridan on the ball. Sending it wide. Dad Carl heading it back inside. Movement. Michelle getting it, and Canada on a dangerous attack. And we will go from there. But guys, if you are here, drop your Canada soccer questions. We're just going to enjoy this going. It is a maple though. We did have an MLS contingent. Canada with the ball, but gets fumbled. And Brazil now building from the back. It's been good. Haven't been watching in a while, but it's been good. Feels good. Kind of attacking, not the ball moving. This Canada team intrigues me. They're definitely a tier 1 who happen to fall to tier 2. The European growth of the game has definitely pushed more European teams higher. Where your top 8 teams are Canada, a bunch of, or US, a bunch of European teams, and Canada. Ooh. No call called. All right. So no call on Michelle Prince moving, and we go from there. But continuing on. There we go. Ball coming in, a free kick given. And Gabby Carl is too strong. Gabby Carl is too strong. So free kick coming. At the 49th minute. And we are going to watch this. Canada's looked good. No one has looked bad in this game. It's been a very, say, evenly matched game, but just 2 seconds goals for Canada as a transition goal for Brazil. Well, if it's free kick coming up, the ball is at the top of the box. Is it a windy? Ooh, another free kick for Brazil. They're just inching forward. So we shall see what happens with this as we go. So a little bit behind, about 30 seconds behind on the free kick coming. Christine, ooh, high knee, but are they gonna call a yellow here? I think it was inadvertent. Ooh, so Fleming with the yellow. Fleming going to clear and catches 17 in the face. Inadverted, but still a free kick, 50th minute coming through. That's the yellow on Fleming and the yellow on Buchanan. So let's see how this goes. I'm going to check what we're doing for likes. 24 likes. Guys, thank you. Truly appreciate it. And the camera is technical. Okay. We're going to enjoy this as we go. That's it. All right, so shot missed. But again, if they can get these free kicks, they are definitely dodging it. All right, so we got free kick, goal kick coming up for Canada. And moving forward, guys, if you are new here, you like this, we do Canadian content, we do some African content, probably a podcast as well, because that's where we're located. So feel free to leave us a like if you like the content, give us a subscribe. And right now we're just doing as you're watching this game, we're doing Canada soccer questions. So if you got questions on the men's, they played, MLS contingent played Bahrain today, drew that game 2-2. We got the women's game, which is going on. If you got questions about either team, fill them in. We'll give answers as we go, and we'll enjoy this game going. The Canada building from the back, Sheridan boots it. Ball sent to Michelle Prince, trying to use pace, but shielded by the fullback. Michelle using body a little bit, but again, good physical show, no calling. Ball coming in, Sinclair Down to Fleming. Fleming to Carl. Out wide. Back to Fleming. Fleming to Buchanan. Buchanan to Lawrence. Out wide. Lawrence plays it back to Shannon. Lets it go. Passes it back to Buchanan. Got Fleming, who's dropping in the middle, gets it. Sent out to Carl. Moving. Space being brought. Oh, Heidema just couldn't get to it. But a good idea. A good ball from Carl. Brazil building out. He's got a save coming here, but Brazil moving the ball up. Ooh, gets behind Cannon. Cannon working. Work. Shot off and directed to the keeper. Guys, thank you for stopping by. Leave a comment or leave a Canada soccer question, whether it's the men's team, the women's team. I'm not sure what my camera looks like here at this point, but it looks something. But guys, just stop in, leave a like if you like this type of content, give us a subscribe, and we'll go from there. But we're watching this Canada-Brazil matchup in a shot off target, coming in corner, coming in. And let's see if Brazil is able to put it away. Yo, DNA, good to see you, man. Good to see you. Brazil has been looking dangerous. You just haven't been able to put some of their shots on frame. Volley is just wide. Goal kick coming in the 54th minute, but both teams have looked good. Both teams looking good. We got a bit of a grimace, guys. If you have any Canada soccer questions, you might as well throw them in the chat and we'll go from there. It's going to answer as we go, but we're watching this women's Canada versus women's Brazil matchup. It is 2-1. It is a very entertaining game, very up and down. Both teams equally matched, but they're really about the same. This is 7 versus 8, I believe. So, shot blocked there. There was Gorski, cleared, and moving and moving and moving. DNA, always good to see you. Ooh, is it? Yeah, we do have a little bit of weather issues up here. So I do apologize. There's not much I can do about the weather. I'm not hardwired in. I'm more satellite in, which means that I will have a little bit of issues with the internet. But guys, if you stay patient with me, I do my best to hang out with you and try to keep you updated on this matchup. If you're looking for the game is in Canada. You can see it on One Soccer. If you have the One Soccer subscription, you can get that there. If you're looking for other means to watch the game, you can definitely catch the game on Hesgo. It is running on a Hesgo, so you can definitely check it in. And substitution coming in for Canada. We have Cedric Scott coming in for Christine Sinclair, which means you're probably going to push Julia Rosso up into that 10 position and have her playing off of Heidema a little bit more as a 10 and second striker, and then Desi Scott playing as a 6, helping to assist in there. So you can almost play a bit more of a back 3 with so this is a little bit more of a back 3 with sometimes a deep sitting CDM, and then you can push your fullbacks a little bit up the pitch and still flag them cover. So a nice formation switch. Appreciate it, DNA. Appreciate it. So right now we're in the 56th minute. Desi in for Sinclair. It is 2-1, 2 set-piece goals for Canada, 1 countering goal for Brazil. It's 2-1, and the chances have been coming a lot more for Brazil than Canada in this half. Canada has definitely felt more like they're on the defensive side. So It tends to happen that way, and that's fine. These games are even match. And it's sharing with another good save off of that. A little bit of defensive miscommunications where Ari's able to just walk in, and once that happens, she's able to put a shot in with no real contention. She would have probably brushed up on the post if she hadn't touched it, but she had to put a hand on it still. So, I should have put in the screen here. Corner coming in, cleared by Canada. Ooh, it's a smartle and cleared, but not far enough. And it's still defending this game and a free kick. Another free kick coming in. So free kick coming for Brazil. Adri definitely got the Keo over that. So free kick coming about the 58th minute. Let's see if Brazil can take it. It's been very much one-way traffic for Brazil in this half. Not many opportunities for Canada. Canada is defending. They're defending well enough. Still giving away good chances, but defending well enough. Apologies for the internet. We're doing the best that we can here. We got a free kick coming in. It looks like it's saved and dealt with by the Canadians. Caitlin Sheridan with the claim from the keeper. There we go. 60th minute. 60th minute coming. Ball playing from the back. But then turned over again, but one back. Here we go. Cutting inside. He loses the ball. Gains the ball again. Here we go. We're also down the middle. No one out wide, but there we go. We have Prince. Prince coming in. Shot. Fleming tries to put it off. Shot is blocked at the top. And the ball moving from there. Like good feet. Good feet work. Good stick work. Getting the ball out and building that back. Abby Kyle on the left side. A little bit more inside. It's not much happening in the midfield to really help them. So we're also looking, and sent, but offside flag goes up. Guys, we are in the 61st minute. If you haven't already, leave a like and subscribe if you like this type of content. I promise one time you'll be able to see my face. If it's not choppy, I appreciate it. But guys, make sure you do, if you haven't already subscribed to do Canadian content, we do cover podcast a little bit. You'll see us on different streams right now, and you'll also see us doing some African content. We are the Africans for a reason. So make sure you guys leave us that subscribe if you do like it. If not, just the like. The like is free. We do appreciate it. Nonetheless. Got some substitutions coming in for Brazil and for Canada. So we're going to have Sophie Schmidt and Boy Lacasse coming in. Tia Maris coming in for didn't touch that. But two substitutions coming in for Brazil. And following this as we go. 19, 20. Leon coming in for the cast. Is the move. So Adrian Leon, the evening is done tonight. 60 minutes. A beautiful volley goal. And looked active defensively as well as offensively. Corey Casu has been in good form at Benfica in the Portuguese league, so we are very happy to see. And Julia Grosso coming out as well with Sophie Schmidt in the middle. So yeah. It's the vets coming in. We'll see how this goes. Sinclair had a 50. Now Schmidt's going to go final 30. Now let's see how they're able to fare here. Here we go. Ball playing play. Brazil moving it, but not able to get through it. Michelle chasing, but Brazil just building. Lots of space on the wing. Chris Smith, appreciate you, man. I hope you're able to enjoy some of this content. You guys, if you're stopping by, throw in a Canada soccer question, whether that's the men's team, the women's team, youth teams overall. I'd love to try to give an answer to them, but we're also watching this Canada beat Brazil. It's been a very fun game so far. Brazil has had more of the ball in the second half, more of the opportunities in the second half. But here's Canada building a little bit. There's Heidelberg setting it, looking, sending Michelle. Michelle gets cut off a bit. But they can't save it. Here's Canada now building and throwing in the dangerous area. That crease is looking all right. Feeling good with how the players are playing. And down for the count again. It is sometimes it happens. All goes out wide. Womxns gets to it. It's back to Ashley Lawrence. Lawrence putting it through the middle. We got Dorsey looking to the ball's coming out wide. Ball's coming out wide. And right back out to Womxns. Looking, does he sending it in almost to Haida? Tries to square it, but corner coming. Corner coming for Canada. Guys, thank you, everyone who's come here so far. Thank you for this love and support. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button. We're at 30 likes. I did not expect it with 30 likes. Guys, thank you so much for the support. Everything you've done. But guys, throw in a question, whether that's Canada content, whether that's men's team, women's team. Let's just talk a little bit. I know I may be breaking up a little bit, but let's see if we can have some more conversations on any of these national teams. If you have any questions, if you want some clarification on them, let's have these fun conversations while we can. Ball squared, looking, but Jordan can't climb the ladder there, playing by the keeper. And there we go. Pass back, very safe. There we go. Canada having seen a little bit more of the ball now. The first 20 minutes of this half were primarily score line. Island Cart is throwing. It's 2-1 Canada. One of the 66th minute. Canada an offsides. I'm going to assume it was Michelle Prince being offside. Yep, Michelle was offsides. Offsides in the scoreline is scoring 2-1 Canada, 66 minutes. Yeah, it's definitely offsides. No doubt about that. But guys, if you are stopping by, make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you like the content, and also drop in a Canada question, Canada soccer question, whether it is about the men's national team, the women's national team, the youth national teams. Let's have conversations. Oh, even drop CSA if you have to. So appreciate everyone who has stopped by, who has swung by that. I truly appreciate you all. We're at 30 likes. I did not expect that we had 30 likes. Special. But we are here. So let us continue to enjoy this very good game. It's been a very enjoyable game to watch back and forth. Canada is definitely growing in the second half. But Lawrence with some good defending. Ooh, almost able to get the ball to the middle. Schmidt now out to the cast. The cast looking, driving inside, passing it to Prince. Prince now in the middle. Prince, oh, Prince almost doing it on her own. It's on seen on, but not able to do it. Now we got Brazil building back. Too shallow to really get it deep enough. And this has been the story of the second half. It's been a lot of Brazil moving the ball. Brazil with good opportunities, but just not able to keep the ball down. Canada have been efficient with their chances. And the time that they do keep the ball down, it is off target. So I think for Canada, defensively, they've not looked bad. They definitely weathered the second half more than they've been on the front foot. But in terms of just defending, they've given up some opportunities, but they've not conceded, which is, I guess, all that matters here. And it's looking like we're going to see our first U17 on the pitch here, Amanda Allen, looking to have a warm-up sheet off. Jordan Heidemann, a foot race, not, that dangerous down the middle. Desi are Fleming, the ball out wide, the pass, Prince are both colliding with each other and not getting the ball. They'll be fine, they'll be fine. So more than likely, we're going to see Allen coming for Prince. That is interesting. No embarrassing. Very interesting. Playing it back in the middle. But Brazil with the ball, building. Middle, dispossessed, ball to no one. Getting to the 70th minute here. 69th minute, 70th minute oncoming. And Canada still up 2-1. 70th minute. Canada looked a better team in the first half. Brazil's looked a better team in the second half. Here we go. Canada is building. Ball is getting to the top of the box here. A good passing, but dispossessed at the top of the box. Pass coming through. Jordan out wide. Loses first touch, does it. I tried to thread it in, but nothing. Not able to get the end of it. 70th minute, 71st minute coming in. Free kick here. And substitutions in. Are they going to go to green for substitutions? Zadorsky with the foul. 2v1 foul. Can't believe much about that, but Zadorsky calling for the die, but nothing. Amanda Allen in number 30. I'm never used to these high numbers, but Amanda Allen, U17, arguably one of the better players during that tournament for Canada, is on the pitch. And she's going to see out these last 20 minutes. This is going to be good to see how she looks if the game doesn't look too big for her. If she just looks the part, I mean, that is a statement in itself. Sheridan with the ball. That wide. Allen is staying wide. This is very good for them. So congratulations, Amanda Allen, on the first cap. Congratulations on the first cap for this new team. But Kaylin, she stepped on. Oh, just a little bit of a brush through media. That is unfortunate, but it looks like we're going to have a look from the keepers, from the trainers. Looks like when she gathered it, got stepped on. Wrist got stepped on. That is not fun. So, Kaylin Sheridan is down, just got stepped on. It was a cleat to wrist. I don't think it was intentional, but they are going to take a look at her. We'll take a minute to kind of set the stage for you. It's 2-1 Canada. Canada scoring their 2 goals, set pieces, a looping header off of a corner, and then a corner with a ball was cleared, and on the volley, Adrian Leon was able to put it out into the bottom and looked good. Adrian Leon finding a player who hasn't looked better for Canada this year. Always. So she does that. Then Brazil has a counter. They're able to score in, I believe, the 36th minute. And then that's where the score has been since. It's been 2-1 since. Canada looking better in the first half. Brazil has looked better in the second half. So we are now here. Interesting notes. Sinclair played, missed a few opportunities. Canada did look good first half, just getting the ball out wide and kind of back to late runners. But they have looked good playing Brazil. And Canada and Brazil is like you need a friendly. I can give you a friendly. So play has resumed. Let's see if Canada can hold on here and put this game away. Or Brazil comes back and is able to draw it. Let's see what happens. Ball there. I think with 2 different types of knives. With Vienne, you could play more of that style. But with a Haidema, you do need more possession to really maximize her strengths. For Haidema, you need more possession to maximize her strengths, because then she can try to play more of those spaces and come through. Ludmila's coming out, and Carlet's coming in for Brazil. A free-flowing game doesn't necessarily suit Haidema, but it definitely could grow. Maybe she ultimately comes out, but right now, Yen is more suited to that type of game. And I think what the players kind of has, Yen is much more suited to that. Ball in the midfield, head forward. Allen trying to get to the end of it, unable to reach there. Schmidt getting there, but playing the ball back, and the ball cleared by Renzi. Allen trying to help him, but lost it. Allen looking good, and we are down again. I'm gonna switch this up here, guys. I hope you are enjoying the stream. Thank you for everyone who stopped by, who's slowing by anyway. Again, had some inclement weather, so the internet is not consistent. We'll do our best with what we have here. With that, Brazil still on the ball, moving around, but looking good. Now here we are moving the ball to the right. Canada able to intercept and moving back with the ball. But again, we are here talking about this game that we're watching. But if anyone has any questions on Canada soccer, whether that be the men's team, the women's team, even youth teams, impressions, players that I've maybe heard or not heard of, throw them in the chat. We'll definitely have a conversation there. But for the most part, we will continue here. 75th minute, and they're looking like they could maybe see this one out. Canada with the ball out wide. Looks like they're going to be a little bit cross coming in, but it is too far deep. Goal kick for Brazil. Ball is split out. We are enjoying throwing for Brazil coming about the 77th minute. And there's some good passing, moving the ball around, but still not able to get Canada able to regain the ball. We'll see what we have here. ball played out, but kind of defending a little bit better and not able to look kind of looking good with claiming the ball, the ball being moved out. All right, going for camera coming in, and I will be back for a short commercial break. And we're back. Sorry about that. I had to deal with something here, but screen has not been very reliable today, but we are here and we are going to do our best to enjoy this day, this game, as we see out the last few minutes of the game. 81st minute, Brazil attacking still, and let us see how this one wraps up and goes. All right, 81st minute, everyone's looking good so far, but again, guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for the likes, the questions you guys have given us so far. Really have appreciated that. And again, 10 minutes. Brazil has looked a better team in the second half, but we will see what they're able to look like if they can either get an equalizer or perhaps Canada can see this thing through. The corner saved and dealt with by the team, and they're going to walk back to the 81st minute throw in. And it looks like my light is nearly out, but we'll see if we can keep this going till the end of time. All right, actually, we're just going to run this here. This is, yeah, it's definitely there. All right, so our battery pack has, we're going to see this game through. So, guys, if you have a minute, make sure you leave us a like. Give us a question here. As we have Brazil building again on the counter coming through on the right, ball set in, but easily buttoned by Caleb Sheridan, again, who has played a good game so far. 9 minutes plus extra time we're looking at. Let's see how they're able to deal with this game. We can see it through. Kind of attacking here from right to left on the pitch. Right to left on the screen as well. Let's see if they can put this game away. go. Ball sent in. Middle position Cannon with the ball. Moved out. Looking like, all right. Hyde fighting. Hyde, oh, that could have been a call, but no call as Allen goes near post and isn't able to put it away. The ref not giving the foul to Hyde. That easily could have been a penalty just based off of it was in the box. If this is VAR, maybe this is a penalty. But right now, Allen with an opportunity to put away, not able to do so, and we are still at 2-1. Oh, it's inadverted, but yeah, that could have been a penalty. The VAR, that's a penalty because the foot takes it up in the box. That's a penalty with VAR. Inadverted or not, the foul occurs. Now, Canada trying to put some pressure, but Brazil able to navigate their way through that. And now, building out through the left, but concede the throw into Canada. Guys, thank you again. If you got questions, I hope we have answers. And our reliability has been not there with our live score. Again, inclement weather means sometimes connection isn't as good as we'd like it to, but we do our best with what we have. Brazil still attacking from left to right. Going to give you more of this game here, and really enjoy it here. That, again, replay storms. That should have been a penalty for Canada, in my opinion. If there's VAR, this is a penalty. Whether it's intentional or not, the cutback is there, and the player is taken out. But they didn't call it, and they didn't call it in this friendly. Let's see how we look. Coming here, call able to stop. They build up at 84th minute. Canada now looking to see this game through. Guys, thanks for everyone who stopped by. If you're stopping by real quick, give us a quick like. We do primarily Canadian African content because the Africans didn't do so. So guys, make sure you do that. And if you got any questions on Canada's content, whether that's Canada's soccer women's team, men's team, maybe even some youth teams, throw those questions in the chat, and we will definitely have those conversations about it. For the most part, we're going to see this game through, and we're going to see if Brazil can get an equalizer, or if Canada can see the game out and get the 2 continuing a 4 and building to a 5-game win streak. Let's see. So we got Brazil with the ball at the top of the box. Ooh. And the corner coming in for Brazil. 85th minute, guys. Canada is defending, but Brazil is threatening. And they are looking very up to the case to get an equalizer. 86-minute corner. This is the 8th corner coming into this game. Are they able to do anything with it? Looks like it is gathered by the keeper. So well dealt with by the keeper. We're behind on our broadcast here, so we'll describe what happens here. I'll put in claimed by the keeper. Claimed by the keeper. Killings had a good second half. Definitely a good second half. And we'll see if we can see up these last few. Heidemann looking good. Oh, definitely claimed. Did she go into the net is the question. Well, there's no VAR. Oh, a foul was already called. A foul was already called. So it didn't matter what happened. The foul was already called. All right. Trying to build out from the left, from the right, and we'll see what happens here. Kind of playing it out wide a little bit too deep for Lacas. Well, but keeps it shallow and is able to keep it there. So throwing for Brazil deep in their end. 87th minute. And they're looking good. Canada trying to winning the ball back here. Then looking to cast out wide. Looking to square ball in. Cuts it back. Other foot. Desi crosses it. And just too far for anyone, but Amanda Allen with a foul, preventing the counter, but not a clear yellow. So Brazil with a free kick coming, and we continue. So Brazil starting off, Allen pressuring. And no ball sent in the middle. Schmidt out wide, but isn't able to thread it for Allen. Allen trying to pressure back through. Here we go. Okay. Schmidt with the ball. Turnover. Fleming. Moving. Allen taking in the space. Schmidt out wide. Back to Fleming. Fleming now passing it out to Carl. Inside, but to. Okay. Almost made something out of nothing there. Looks like reliability is definitely a bit questionable. We apologize for that, but we do have to make it better where we're shooting from, and it is affecting our connection. Canada with the ball, moving around. Schmidt out to Allen. Allen on the wing. Allen looking, squaring, and now we got a corner coming for Canada. 89th minute. Let's see if we can see this one out as we go. 89th minute. Stands look very full on the one side and feeling on the next. Let's see if Canada can put away another set piece goal, but put away from by the keeper and cleared by Brazil. There we go, cleared by Brazil. Sent back. Brazil now coming in on the break, 90th minute. Ooh, do they have something left? Shot on target, but saved by Kaylin Sheridan. They just work this thing. We're seeing this now on the broadcast here. Woof. This is some good work from Brazil to get it into the box, squared it, off the deflection. But Kaylin not having any chances with that, putting it away. Guys, we're nearly at the end of this matchup. Thank you for being here with us. Thank you for hitting that like button. If you appreciate the content, please feel free to hit that subscribe button. Show us some love there. If not, guys, continue to support your national teams, what they are. Sheridan with a good save. The Brazilian player is down, looking like cramps. And we're looking at seeing how much time we have left in this matchup. It's looking like we have we're looking for the extra time allocation. Haven't been said anything yet. Extra time going, I'm guessing maybe 3 minutes max. But we shall see what we have. We shall see what they give. 4 minutes of extra time has been given. All right. So the cat's coming. Oh, and just threaded out wide. Schmidt not able to get to the end of it. The cat's putting it on frame, but just out of the reach of Schmidt to tap it away. Buchanan with the ball. Lost. Same deflection. Here we go. Heidema looking. Heidema looking. Dispossessed. And free kick given to Brazil. Guys, it's going to be a very mad end to this game. Can Canada hold on, or does Brazil get the equalizer? We will find out. We will find out soon, won't we? Oof, almost badly taken it, but sent out wide. Allen with the ball, looking, passing it off. Allen trying to use his space. Oh, they had that. All right, but Brazil being feisty, not going away, trying to create a turnover, trying to get one more opportunity. Yeah, we're about 30 seconds behind on this broadcast here. But Brazil earning a throw-in. Allen touched a bit too heavy, but wins it back. Plays it out wide. No foul given, but throw-in instead. 93rd minute, heading to the 94th minute soon. But nothing there. Hydermite trying to give some pressure onto the ball. Let's see if Canada can see this out. Header won by Buchanan. Lawrence looking right. No fouls being given, just giving the Brazil building now. Coming into the end of the game, we're at the edge of the box. Can they do something with this? Ooh, this will be a very... And the corner is given. We are coming into this. Ooh, can they get the equalizer? We will find out. Corner comes in. We wait with bated breath. We wait with bated breath and see what happens. With bated breath, and it looks like it is dealt with. And another save by Kaylin Sheridan at the end. It looks like this should see it out. It does look like this should see out this game. And that is it, guys. Canada 2, Brazil 1. Canada continuing score line. And it's, yeah, perfect time for the yield here. But Canada 2, Brazil 1. Congratulations to the ladies getting their 5th win in a row. Looking good in doing so. Guys, thanks for being here with us. If you got any questions for Canada soccer, whether that's the men's, the women's, maybe even a youth team, what the state is, what it is, feel free to do so. We will have more content coming through. We'll be able to do a live stream for the Tuesday game, but we definitely will have a recap for that, and we'll definitely have something coming up on Sunday for the men's roster release. So feel free to make sure you subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you see when that video drops. But until, guys, a very solid game for Canada, 2-1. Had more of the game in the first half. Second half, they definitely were defending more. And yes, I just disappeared because my light literally died. Look at the timing. We're not going to have much more for this. So everyone who came by, thank you for liking the video if you haven't already. Everyone who likes the content, make sure you hit subscribe. Turn on the notification bell so you know when we're dropping that next video, which will be coming on Sunday. We put a few recaps out tonight, but definitely coming out on Sunday for the men's roster release. And as the World Cup comes and goes for there, we cover African teams, we cover Canadian teams, we cover some CONCACAF. Primarily we cover Ghana because I'm Ghanaian. But make sure you guys, if you like this type of content, give that subscribe, go from there. This has been Africans, however they want to say it. That's how we run it. But guys, thank you so much again for the support today. Until next time, we simply say bye-bye for now.